Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Faith Miwa. If you are a new subscriber, thank you for subscribing. I had a discussion with Isaac and we shared some ideas about planning. This is a video that is going to give you more information about that. While you enjoy the video, you should have it in mind that there's a part one of this video, and if you would like to watch it, you can go over to his YouTube channel, Becoming Isaac. Thank you very much.
I want to own a house, I want to have this at a particular age. Those things are, I feel they are materialistic, like just material things. Will you find fulfillment in it? Like,
Big question.
like you have to know that in your planning, you must also look to the goal, like look at it that will I be fulfilled at the end of this thing, that if it got achieved, like will I be happy with what got, okay, let me say friends, at my age now, I want to own a car. To me, that car is more or less like a liability because other than the fact, okay, I'm using it to transport myself about, at some point I'll be like, I don't want to drive. It's not all the time people that are driving see that they're happy driving.
Yeah.
It can be stressful at times for them. So
More responsibility.
yeah, owning a car, like you have to think of, okay, fueling it, going for the maintenance and all of that.
There are people that depend on you for their transportation as well.
Yes, you become, okay, a taxi driver. Well, wow, my friend, because of you are close to me, I'll be like, oh, please, I'm going to Famagusta, please take me, can you take me there? I'll be like, so you won't have a time, you won't have your own self. Like to some point, you'll be like, I wish I never had a car. Which that's a regret. You are not satisfied. Like there's no satisfaction at the end of it. Yeah. So I think when you're planning, you must plan with purpose. You must prepare prayerfully. I mentioned able to talk to having a relationship with God. If you set your plans, your realistic plans, your head, and even if you've written it down and you don't consult God, I feel you've not done enough. Because what if you are, what you see, there's this saying, they say God, they say man proposes, God disposes. What if what you are planning for yourself, that's not what God wants for you? Like, it's just a waste of time. Like, you've wasted time. So I feel at times when we make our plans, we should also pray and be prepared to pray and seek God's face. Like, we know in the Bible, always hearing this scripture in the Bible, Matthew 6:33, seek first the kingdom of God. You are seeking God concerning, like, you don't feel what you do day to day doesn't concern God. Like, it concerns God, like for real. Everything you are doing concerns God. You want to drink water. God, I'm drinking water. Is it going to be good for my health? That kind of conversation you have, I feel it has an impact it makes in your life. Proceed positively. We make plans, yes. But what if we're planning and our mind towards that plan is not completely positive? Because you're having doubts that what if it doesn't work out? What if what I'm planning doesn't end up being what like you were talking about? Okay, if you are making bad plans, it doesn't necessarily mean that at the end it's going to be bad. So that kind of situation, be positive. But me saying you should be positive does not mean that, okay, you plan to do a bad thing. What bad thing can I say? Okay,
rob a bank.
Or let's come down to student level. You plan to like cheat in an exam. You know what you are doing is bad, and you are thinking at the end it's going to like be successful. What if during the process of cheating, the invigilator catches you? You other than being expelled, like you got caught, your classmates or your classmates start spreading the news. So person did this, so person did that. That is, I feel that plan is a bad plan and also ends to bad results. Yeah. So I feel that is just it. So what's changed your perception? Like, what's changed your perception about planning?
Failure. Okay, so let me explain.
You said failure. So you can hear that clearly.
Failure changed my perception. Like, when you consistently went into ventures without planning, and I saw that I kept failing, I had to question myself, what's the point of this failure? So a while ago, I had this talk for the Gilead medical team. You might not know it, you might know it. I didn't plan adequately for that talk, and then it ended in tears. Like,
Was it bad? You really?
on my part, it was
Okay, on
very
his
bad.
part, okay.
Some people say it was alright, but
No, you tried.
you know your
At least.
capacity. So that kind of failure, it spurs you to think about your life in a deeper way. Sometimes failure is good. Failure is really good if you learn from it. So there were a number of times that I would go into stuff that I would just plan to wing it. I just wing it, and it had been happening for a long time. In secondary school, I essentially went into some tests without really being adequately prepared, or I went into ventures without planning. For example, there was a sport event, and then I wanted to run the endurance race, 1,500 meters, and I didn't have a plan on how I'm going to train adequately to that day. I just assumed like, well, I run sometimes and I can just wing it somehow. By the way. Because the previous year, my brother ran that same race and he got the gold. He was the gold medalist for that race. I was like, it's in my family. I'll probably get it. I flopped badly.
Oh God.
Well, there were like 8 finalists that they were going to pick, and I was like the 8th person, right? So I just relaxed and I was jogging because it was towards the end of the race and someone just came and passed me and I was already out of gas. So it was really painful. And I thought about it, if I had sat down to like plan how I'm going to, even if I didn't prepare adequately and I planned out the race, I would realize that at the end of the race, there could be people behind me.
You.
And I didn't take into consideration. I just saw everybody else had gas up and I was just the last one. And it was just right at the end. And you know when someone has already cut that velocity and he passes you, you're just struggling. So that's how it ended in tears. So that was failure. And also, I studied a lot of people that were successful. And that was one key thing I found in everybody that was successful. They planned. And the more attention to detail they paid, the more successful they usually were, right? So think about the most successful people you know now. Think about someone you look up to. And think about whether or not they plan. And in what way they plan, right? Some people plan out straight up out in paper. Some people plan in their minds. And that's where we get the misconception that you can just wing it, or people can just wing it, because some people actually are good visualizers and they can lay out the plan in their head. But you don't know, you just assume, well, they're just good freestylers and they're just freestyling the thing. And then you follow them and you fail.
Okay, for me, like I mentioned how I started planning now. My circle of people, the people I have around me, my relationships, I feel those were the people that changed my perception about my planning. Like at times when I have discussions with people and the talk they say, like things they say at times can eat me, and I find something like to hold home. And when I go and think about it, or the thought just comes to my mind randomly, I figure out that what they say at times can be something important that may help me into my planning. So the relationship of people, the relationship I have with people, the things they say, and the relationship I have with people are actually good relationships, like godly relationships, people that I know when I go to meet them, if I have any issues, or I go to meet them because, like, just having people to talk to and having that back of your mind that you definitely get something important, something tangible to take home. So I think my relationship with people helped me. When you are making your plans when you are much younger, you tend to make plans with the ideology that, okay, as a kid, I make plans that, okay, using myself for an example, when I was in primary school, I had plans that, okay, when I enter the secondary school, I'm going to be like the cool kid, like I'm going to have everything sorted out. Because being a student in primary school, I was always having good grades. I entered secondary school with the mindset that, okay, secondary school will not be that hard. It's just the same concept.
It's not that deep.
But when it hits me, and no, I won't say I didn't feel, but what I had hurt me. Like it wasn't as okay. Imagine in primary school you're always having 90-something percentage. You got to secondary school and you had your first 70%. Like How come? How did it happen? And it's not we didn't read, but the manner at which we were reading was not strong enough, because in primary school, like definitely just when you read, what they were giving in primary school is not that hard. But we got to secondary school and I figured that life is not all rosy. Like secondary school is also a training ground. So that alone made my growth, helped my thinking, my planning and everything. So I think my growth mentally, because at times when you sit down and think, spiritually, socially, and being a person, okay, that wasn't always vibing with people in secondary school. My life in the uni, I had to talk with people. As a nursing student, you have to like be smiling, you have to be nice, all those kind of things. So I ended up building some traits in me that I didn't even know that I had.
Yeah.
So I think growth is also one of the things that's changed my perception about planning. What inspired you to think different?
Yeah.
Yes. Not planning this time around, because you have to think. So what is the person that is pushing you, or what is the thing that is pushing you to think different or to make an impact? So currently, what are your plans?
What are my plans? Okay, my first plan is to submit all my plans to God. And that's my first plan. Yeah, I know that all my plans are null without submitting them to Christ, because Christ can modify them, Christ can change them, He can show me His purpose for me and everything. My second plan, basically under my bucket of plan, is my academic plan. So I'm studying medicine and I plan to graduate with a high honor. That's a GPA of above 3.5, and it's very possible. I know it's very possible. I'm more than convinced that I will do it, and so I have plans to do that. And my third plan is to monetize my creativity before I graduate, right?
Mine is my plans currently is just keep studying and experiencing the nursing life in general, like experiencing life, learning, having experiences in every opportunity I get. Other than my school, other than nursing and experiencing life, I also need working too much my finances. It's not concrete, but at least I have the idea. It's just like for me to start planning and figuring how I should go about with that. So I think those are just my plans for the future currently. Yeah. And also, yes, living my fantasy. I have a fantasy.
What's the fantasy?
My aesthetic lifestyle. I want it so much. I know people have different lifestyle. Those are okay. Their lifestyle is like a fashionable lifestyle. Yeah. You have some people that theirs is graphics, text, all those things. Mine is just aesthetic. Anything that is aesthetic, suiting, the vibe is just cool. It's not
lo-fi.
Yes, it's not it's not something that is extravagant, but it's just like living a simple life.
Have you heard of minimalism? Minimalist. Okay, you could
yes, I want to be yes, if it's possible.
Are you a minimalist?
I don't know. I can't tell. But I just want that lifestyle. You know, we've been talking about planning and all of that and all of that and all of that. What are we doing that turns those plans to actionable steps?
Yes.
I'm still going to keep emphasizing on the people I have around me. So to turn them to actionable steps, to make it, is by being accountable.
Okay.
Being accountable in the sense that I let you know this is my plan at the moment, and I work towards it. So if I make okay, I achieved it, I'll let you know that okay, so person, okay, I did this plan and I was able to achieve it. And if I get a morale support or encouragement, it will boost my ability to keep on doing it. So I feel accountability is important also in your planning. Let people that I'm in the sense that you are responsible to some certain people. It's not just any random person you talk to. It's person that you trust, person you think that will be of guide or help to you. It can be your pastor, it can be your parents, it can be anybody you think is just the best figure to be accountable to. It can even be your friend or even your sibling. Anybody you think you can just share with. So I think that, and also prayer, pray for wisdom to like make those plans work. So I think those are two paramount things. And also setting deadline. Do you think setting deadline will make your plans work?
Sure, it's important.
Do you know at times making certain deadlines can be like scary?
And then you can rephrase it. You know, a word changing of wording can make something seem so much better if you, instead of calling it a deadline, you call it a milestone. Sounds so much.
Okay, yes. Because seeing deadlines, like, as if I don't do it, I must do it. So you get anxious because you want to meet that goal.
Well, a milestone is sort of like a goal where you, first of all, you have to decide that you want to reach that goal, you want to achieve that goal, and then you work towards it. It's just like something to look forward to work towards. If you don't make it, then you have a place to assess why you didn't make it, and you have more information to reach further reach your other milestones. It's not like you're going to die.
You're not going to die. How do you intend to turn your plans to actionable steps?
Yeah. Okay. First of all, I ask myself a lot of questions, right? And questions are a good place to start from because questions require answers, and these answers are essentially what you're looking for to be the details of a plan. Let's say
plan to travel.
I want to travel, right? The first question essentially will be, why do I want to travel, right? Because remember, I want to plan with purpose. When we plan with purpose, we'll be more intentional. Why do I want to travel? To see my loved one. Then the question will be, is there any other way I can see my loved one without traveling?
Yes.
If there was maybe, if it was easier for them to come to where I am than for me to go there, then my plan will now modify to them coming here instead of me going there. Or if there was a way for us to connect, maybe there's an event that we both want to go for and it's easy for us to just go there and connect, then if my loved one is the reason why I want to travel, my plan will have to modify. So knowing why I want to do that thing, right, then I ask myself another question. What does seeing my loved one entail? It entails a flight, right? And do I have a flight ticket or do I have a visa to where I want to go? So now I'm breaking down my plan with these questions, right? Yeah. Do I have a visa? If I don't have a visa, then that will be a sub-unit of my plan, getting a visa. I bend it down. And then I ask myself a bunch of other questions. How can I get a visa, right? I need to go to the embassy or I need to sign up on their website. And all these questions, I'm bringing out the steps. So when you come to the end and you look at all the questions I've asked with the answers, you don't have the details. Ask intelligent questions. And that's the simplest way to make a big plan smaller. Another one is setting milestones, right? Time-bound milestones. Like, let's use the example of going to school as well. Well, by 9:30, I should have my clothes ready and I should be preparing to get showered. So if by 9:30 I don't have my clothes ready and I'm not preparing to get showered, then I cannot ask the question, why not? What have I been doing? And then I know I'm behind schedule on my plans. So before even the actual time reaching, I can gauge how far, or I can gauge when I'm going to be in school, right? When you talk about your plans with people that are level-headed, that you can trust, right? Even if you don't go back to tell them, sometime in the future they'll ask you, how far with your YouTube channel? Are you still on that project you're talking about, right? Because talking about it makes them aware and therefore you're more accountable. I realize that any plan I talk about, I'm more likely to accomplish it. A plan I just keep to myself, when I'm like, oh well, I'll not do it again. Nobody really knows that I was planning that, so I'm only accountable to myself. But if I share it with Faithoma, when I want to think, let's just scrap this plan, I'll think, Faithoma might ask me, I don't have an answer for her. Let's just do it. And then it's a motivator to plan now.
So we've come to the end of this video. I would like you guys to like this video, share this video, and subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Thank you for watching this video till the end. So if you want to get the rest of this video, you can check Isaac YouTube channel, Becoming Isaac. I will even drop it in the description box so that you can get the link to the video. So thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.